Hey guys, it's Drea. So today I'm doing another Hauled It, How Was It video for you. This is looking over an old haul and reviewing all the products. Now this was my Black Friday haul from last year. I bought a lot of stuff and as a result, this was actually a two-part haul. If I were to review everything, we would be here for like an hour. So what I'm doing is I'm taking out anything that I have mentioned like multiple times on this channel already, whether like in favorites, reviews, empties, you know, anything that's like you guys have heard it a million times. So this is stuff that you haven't heard a million times and I'm going to just talk about if I like them or not. Let's get two things out of the way. Number one, as you can see, I am badly sunburned. Badly sunburned. Look at the difference. The only reason that it's not being covered up right now is because it just hurts too much to put a t-shirt over this. So that's why I'm wearing a tank top, but unfortunately my face does not match my body. So that's whatever. If you're wondering what is on my face, I did a tutorial with this look featuring one of these palettes that I'm going to talk about. So I'm going to link to that tutorial below as well. All right, that's enough of a preamble. Let's start with the eyeshadow that I'm wearing. So this is the Zodiac Love Signs palette from BH. I love BH Cosmetics. It's well known on my channel that I love their eyeshadow. I think they are amazing. So underreported on YouTube, so like I feel like nobody talks about them except for me. And I know that's not true, but I don't hear about it very much on other people's channels. All right, so this is the palette that's on my eyes today. I did a Pisces look, so all of the little circles are the baked shadows and they're named after different signs in the zodiac, and then in the middle you have a nice round circle of a variety of matte shadows. Most of them are pretty warm. You have a few cool tones and one pop of pink. If you were to compare this palette against the original Zodiac, I feel like this one is much warmer in tone overall, whereas the original Zodiac I feel like is a little bit more cool tone. The mattes in here are really good, but really I think the star of these palettes is the baked shadows. They're so gorgeous, so pigmented. They go on so well with a brush. You don't even have to use your fingers like you do with a lot of lid shades and a lot of palettes. So I just can't tell you enough how much I love the quality of these eyeshadows, and yeah, that's what's on my eyes today. Another BH palette, because I did do a BH haul during this video. This is the Take Me Back to Brazil Rio edition. So I have the Take Me Back to Brazil and I have this one, the Rio. The Take Me Back to Brazil is all matte and this one is all shimmer. So every single little pan in here is shimmer. Look how cute this packaging is though, like honestly, it's gorgeous packaging. Okay, so these shadows I do like. I did one tutorial with this. It was actually with both palettes on my Instagram and I really loved the way it turned out. It was fantabulous. These shadows are also like pretty pigmented for what they are. I did use a little bit more of a sticky base underneath it just to make them pop a little bit more, but they are really good even without a sticky base. So you can see there, like they show up, that's just one finger swatch from each. It's maybe not as intense as some other things, and like that green is a little bit choppy and patchy. So this palette I don't think is the best formula that they've ever done. It's all very kind of dimethicone based, like that silicone-y feeling based shadows. Not my absolute favorite. I haven't really used these. These are intended, like the black obviously is intended to put stuff on top of so that you can get a little bit of a pop and a little bit more of an intense result. I haven't really used these two shimmery glittery shades at all. So I don't know, I can't really talk about those, but they are duochrome. I do like this palette overall. I think it has a nice place in my collection. Obviously you're not going to be using it on its own because it's all shimmers, but I think the shimmers are fun. I think the colors are fun. I think it's a really good summertime palette. Okay, next is this. This is the L'Oreal Brow Stylist Definer in the shade Brunette. This is what I'm wearing in my eyebrows today. It's actually my project pan, so I'm not going to show you how much is left. It's a good formula. It's not overly pigmented, but there's definitely enough there where you can draw on like brow strokes without it getting like blocky. And I think the spoolie is also really good. I think this is a pretty not exact dupe for the Anastasia spoolie, but a pretty good, like, comparable spoolie. So I like that it's all in one. This is a little bit pricier for drugstore though, so I always wait till it goes on sale because L'Oreal, you know, is a little bit expensive at the drugstore, but I like it. I've used a few of these. It has my thumbs up recommendation. This is the Makeup Revolution Fast Base, what's it called? Fast Base Stick Foundation. This is what I'm wearing today. I feel like this foundation is so full coverage and so perfecting, very hydrating. I always feel like on the verge of really greasy with it, but still dewy. I don't know, like I feel like right now I'm looking like, ugh, am I about to look greasy? I'm not quite there, but am I about to? You know, I always kind of feel like that with this foundation. I definitely cannot wear this through a whole workday with oily skin. This will melt off my face after a few hours, but I like it in the moment. I like it when I first apply it. I like it for filming videos, but I would never like wear this out of the house. But for those of you that have drier skin, it's probably pretty good. For oily skin, it's gorgeous, but not if you're doing more than just like taking pictures or being an Instagram person. So do I like it? Yes, it is my favorite stick foundation that I've ever used because every other one has settled into my pores like garbage. This one doesn't. This one really blends in well. Like I said, very full coverage and very perfecting. Also purchased the Makeup Revolution concealer, which, what is that concealer called again? Conceal and Define, I think. I used it up. You guys, I never use up full concealers. Like, how often do you see me do that? I use that up completely. I loved that concealer. It's so like full coverage, but not too drying. It's very comparable to the Tarte Shape Tape, but I find the Tarte Shape Tape is very drying overall, and the Makeup Revolution version is not, but it's still just as full coverage. I definitely want to repurchase it at some point, but I want to use up a few of my concealers first. And another product that has already seen the empties is the Annabelle Skinny Mascara. This is a Canadian brand. So I don't think you can get it outside of Canada. It's a good mascara, but it's not my favorite. It is the skinniest little wand you've ever seen. Like, it almost doesn't even look like it has bristles on it. It's just so skinny, and I used it for my lower lash line. Now, I use the MAC Extended Play Giga Black Lash for my lower lash line. It's perfect for me. It doesn't transfer. It's in black, like my lashes show up there with it. With this one, I feel like it was less of a liquid kind of consistency, and it was almost like a soft velvet consistency. It almost felt like a powder formula or something. It just wasn't my favorite. I felt like it took me way longer to get my lower lashes looking like they had something on it, and it was never as black as the MAC one. It was never as long as the MAC one. It never transferred on me. It never, you know, did anything like that. There was never any fallout or bits falling down or anything, but I definitely don't like it more than my Extended Play, so it was never a replacement, but it is a good alternative, lower cost, obviously, version at the drugstore. Many of you, I'm sure, just use one mascara in your life on your top and bottom lashes and go on with your day. Me, I'm very high maintenance and I need one for each. This is the Violet Voss Flamingo palette. This is a very colorful eyeshadow palette. I wanted this so badly when it came out, which I think was last summer. It is limited edition, but it's still available. I'm pretty sure you can still get this on Sephora. I honestly think it didn't sell very well. I'm not 100% sure on that, but that's my feeling. I like this palette. I haven't used it a ton. It's in my everyday makeup drawer as we speak, and I just changed that out last week and I haven't used it yet. So this is going to start seeing some use. I use this a little bit throughout the winter time, but nothing crazy because, again, it's like very summery shades. So I like it. There's a lot of untouched colors in here. I can't fully review it. I feel like some of the shades didn't go on as like pigmented as I wanted, especially like this shade Pineapple, this yellow, which I feel like is already getting some hard pan. So there's the yellow. You could see like it's a little bit sheer and choppy. It's not like a full nice, you know, one swipe swatch or anything, and so it takes a lot of building up on the eye. There's a lot of shades in here that are good, but I think like this bikini shade, very similar thing. See, it's just not like, it's just not an easy formula. Now this is the first Violet Voss palette that I've owned. And again, haven't used it a ton, but I'm just not like super impressed. Any of you that have multiple palettes from Violet Voss, let me know how this compares to the other ones. So like I said, I had done a BH order and I ordered a brush set from them. I'm pretty sure this is all the brushes that came in this set, but I could be maybe missing one or two. So this is the marble set. I really like the actual brush handles. I think they're like kind of chic. They're really pretty. They're pretty to look at. I love the bristles, how it's like this kind of gray to like white. They're very, very soft. So there's a variety of face brushes and a variety of eye brushes. This one is so big. I never use this. Like honestly, I don't even know. I guess I would use this for like loose powder maybe, but it's just so big. This foundation brush is really, really interesting because it's so short and dense. Like it almost doesn't move when you put foundation on with it, and it worked fine. Not my favorite. I think I like a little bit more looseness there, but it's okay. This one I use for bronzer a lot. I also use this to wipe away fallout under my eyes. It's super soft. I guess this is just like they do have numbers, like this is number 2, this is number 3, but it doesn't say what it's designed for. But I really like this one. This one is interesting. This is number 4 because it's definitely smaller than a typical foundation brush, but it's a little bit too big, I think, for things like contour. So I do use this for foundation, and I like it for foundation because it's a little bit more like floppy and it just moves around a little bit easier, even though it's pretty small. I like it. This one's a little stipple brush. I don't really have a use for this one yet. It's a little bit stiff because I think the stipple bristles are just, they're a little bit of a thicker synthetic bristle. And I just don't know what to use this for. I've used it for highlight a few times, so I didn't love the result. So I don't use that one a lot. I like the eye brushes quite a bit. You know, you have like a nice crease blender, smaller one, and then more of like a shader blender brush. They're good. I prefer natural bristle eye brushes, but if I have to use a synthetic, I think they're really good. So overall, I do really like BH brushes. I have since purchased another set, the Weekend Festival one. I got that at Winners, and I like that one a lot too. So I think that their brushes are super affordable and really good quality. Speaking of brushes, I also purchased more of the M433 and M441. There were actually a few in this haul from Morphe. This is more of the pinched kind of smaller blending brush, similar to a MAC 217. And this one is just kind of a much bigger, I don't know, blender brush. I like both of these. I don't think they're as good quality as MAC brushes. They're a little bit rougher, not rougher, and that's not the right word, scratchier. That's the word I wanted. Little bit scratchier, not terrible. They're definitely still workable. They work really well. I have multiples of these. I like them because they are super cheap. Like a MAC 217 is $30. This is $8. So am I willing to, you know, make a few concessions for a little bit more of a scratchy experience? Sure. I think that it still gets the job done pretty much the same. So I'm pretty happy with these two blending brushes. I have a couple of lipsticks here. This is the Edge lipstick from Annabelle. This is in the shade Michelle, which I think is a really cool shade. These are square, but they're turned, so they're diamonds. So you can put that point like right up in your Cupid's bow, and it fits pretty well. I feel like on the bottom though, it's a little bit trickier. It would have been nicer if the edge was just on the top and then the bottom was rounded, because to put the bottom down and like see what you're doing with that little kind of pointiness there doesn't always work so well. But this is the color. I think it's a really pretty cool toned mauvey deep purple. It's a really nice shade. Again, this is a Canadian brand. I don't know if you can get this elsewhere. I also purchased two lipsticks from Maybelline. These are both from the Shine line, and the packaging is rose gold. I love the packaging on them. The lipstick itself is round, so different than their bullet ones. This one is in the shade Taupe Seduction. I feel like that's not right. No, this one, I'll swatch it anyway. This is one I bought later after I purchased these two. So that's Taupe Seduction. But you know what? I had them all in one spot. So I have 4 of them total. Obviously, I only purchased 2 in this haul, but I'm going to swatch all of them for you because why not? This is number 50, Baddest Beige. I don't like this shade on me. It's super, super nude. I remember when I wore this in a video, a lot of you liked it though. So if you like a really, really nude kind of, like it harkens back to that time where people would just blank their lips out. And this one is 75 Undressed Pink. This I'm not a huge fan of just because I just don't know how I like pink lipstick lately. I'm just not, I'm going further and further away from like Barbie pinks and light pinks. This one is my favorite. This one is in the shade Spicy Mauve, Spicy Mauve. This color is beautiful, super gorgeous. And obviously these are the shine formula, so you have very, very shiny lips when you wear these. Very glossy looking, slightly sheer, not totally. Like this one I would say and this one are a little more sheer than the other 2. But there's definitely that moisture component because they're super shiny. And I really do like the formula a lot. Okay, this was the first time I had found my beloved Kiss Lash Couture lashes in Gala. I adore these eyelashes. These are the ones I'm wearing today. If you look at them, in the box there, they look super dramatic, very like voluminous. And they are dramatic and they are voluminous, but I don't know, they just seem to work for me. And I love the length. The length is just so nice. I think it's because they're like lifted, so the top is kind of lifted and then you have another layer kind of underneath. I think because of that, once they're actually on, they look a little bit more wispy, and that's what I prefer as opposed to just one line of lashes that's like almost opaque going across, you know what I mean? Which is not a favorite look of mine, but I love the way these look on. I think they're stunning. They're lightweight, the band is pretty flexible, but they are very lightweight and they're very fluffy and soft. Okay, next is this from MAC. This is the MAC Studio Fix powder. So it's like a powder foundation. NC20 is the shade. I don't use powder foundations as foundations. I use them as powders. So there's some coverage to this, definitely. But I just use it, excuse me, as a setting powder over top of other foundation. It's not the most mattifying thing in the world. I like it because it gives you a little bit more coverage if you want it, but it's definitely not like a mattifying powder. So if you're looking for it because you are oily, not really the best. There are a lot of better powders out there. By the way, I'm using that Surf Leave-In styler stuff from Bumble and Bumble, and it's supposed to leave your hair like wavy when it air dries. I just don't know, guys. I feel like it's a little bit beachy looking, but mostly like the ends just look kind of ratty. So I think the jury's kind of out. All right, next is this. The NYX Can't Stop, Won't Stop Foundation and Primer. Let's do these separately. The primer, okay, this primer is so gummy. When you put it on, it gums up and it leaves this residue that like comes off on my hands, and it does this like gummy thing where it like sticks and balls up. It's gross. It's gross, it's gross, it's gross. Now, I know that not all products work with other products. So a lot of the time if you have a product that's balling up, it's because it's reacting to something else on your face. So something in your skincare, something, whatever. This does this for me every time though. Every single time. And I just can't do it. Like I just can't deal with it. So this does keep me more matte than a lot of other primers do. I think that throughout the day, once it's on, my foundation lasts a lot longer, but I hate the process of getting it on because of all that balling up and all that gumminess. So, and I'm not going to change my whole skincare routine just for a primer, you know what I'm saying? The foundation itself, so this is in the shade Soft Beige. I would like to try this in a lighter shade. Look, this would match me now, and I was using this throughout the winter. So it's a lot darker, and I had to buy it off the website, so I couldn't really see it in person because NYX was doing like a Black Friday sale. But you see the color, so I feel like this oxidizes even darker than what's in the bottle throughout the day, which I really don't like because it makes me feel very orange and very like I don't match. So I don't like that. I do think it's a good mattifying foundation though. I think it lasts really well. It's a much more fluid consistency when you put it on. So it has a lot of pigment, a lot of punch, and not a lot of product, which is nice because you don't have to put gobs and gobs and gobs of product on your face to get the pigment. I do feel like it has a tendency to be a little bit streaky. So, you know, whether I use a brush, whether I use a beauty blender, whatever it is, I have to go over it so much and make sure it's so well blended. Like, it's just a little bit more high maintenance than other foundations I have. I have lots of foundations where I can just like quickly slap it on, quickly blend it out, and we're good. There's no streakiness, we're all good. This one always seems to be streaky. So I'll notice halfway through the day, oh, there's like a foundation streak there. And you know, it's not great at that point to notice that. So I don't know, it's not my favorite. I don't see myself keeping this in my collection much longer. I do think that maybe if I had the right color, I would like it a little bit more, but so far I don't really love it. I think it's hilarious how badly my face doesn't match my body right now. Like, but I have to, you know, like, what am I gonna do? Just look, not film because I have a sunburn? No, we gotta power through. Okay, I have 2 products left. This is the facial spray with aloe, herbs, and rose water from Mario Badescu. As you can see, I love it because it is halfway gone. Like, it's not even in a project pan. I love rose skincare. It's something I've fallen in love with only this year. Lots of different rose products that I feel like just really give me a nourishment factor, a hydration factor. And my skin just seems to react really well to anything rose. So often I'll just do my whole skincare routine and I'll put this on after. I'll just spray it on after, or I'll spray this on as soon as I get out of the shower and then wait a few minutes and then do everything else. So how well this is affecting me compared to everything else, I can't say because it's just part of my routine. I don't notice a difference when I don't use it versus when I use it. It's just part of my routine, but I really do like it and it smells great. And then the last thing is this. Now, I purchased a mini of this, but I obviously loved it enough to buy the full size. This is the Laneige Lip Sleeping Mask. So I used up the mini. This stuff is so ultra hydrating, nourishing overnight. I only use it overnight, so I put it on last thing I do before I go to bed, and I wake up and my lips just are plump. I can still feel the product on there, like it's still there, but it's also like permeated the layer of my lips in a way. It's just a really nice thick lip balm that is great for night. I like the scent of it. I know it comes in different scents as well, but I really like this one. So I liked it enough to buy the full size. That's it for this haul. Can you imagine if I would have done everything else, how long it would be? But I hope that you found this helpful, that all of these little mini reviews really added something to your experience here on my channel. If you're new here, definitely subscribe. If you have any questions about anything I didn't cover, please leave it down below. And I hope you are having a great day. I hope that you're speaking kindly to yourself, especially when you look in the mirror. I love you guys. I'll see you in my next video. Bye.